Let's watch the trailer. It's an FPS where they want like everything to be as realistic as possible. It's f***ing crazy.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
You're checking ammo by looking at the mag. It's crazy. Oh yeah, so this was the original tweet. Alexandre Spindler, first early gameplay trailer for Unrecord, the body cam FPS. Wishlist on Steam now. And Trainer's response, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but this level of realism in video games should be heavily moderated in shooters for anyone under a certain age. I hope parents do their job. This level of realism for shooting and killing makes me feel uncomfortable, as if I'm watching a real leak from a military or police operation. The clear distinction between real and fake is necessary, but this level of realism, in my opinion, gives real credibility to the nonsense politicians have been spewing for years about video games, conditioning young people to lose a sense of empathy towards violent tendencies or situations. So, I get where he's coming from, and I think he already knows the solution. He already knows the solution. In the top right, just put a banner says, shooting people in real life is bad, right? That's what he does for the gambling stream. For reals though, I get where he's coming from. I don't think it's true that this necessarily conditions people for violence. Though the thing is, like, rereading it, I realize with this a little bit of perspective, I'm realizing that it's the boomer thing, right? This is the way he sees this trailer is exactly how our parents saw us playing Counter-Strike. What he sees and is scared of watching that trailer is exactly what our parents were scared of when they saw us play Counter-Strike. That same like gut reaction of, oh shit, this is a bit too much. This is too realistic. And it wasn't. It wasn't too close. It wasn't that. It wasn't brainwashing people. There is no causation between like video games and the violence, etc., etc. That being said, maybe just because there was no causation with previous levels of technology doesn't mean there's going to be no causation with later on levels of technology. But I would rather assume that it's going to be more of a cathartic experience. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. It's definitely not a game I would like to see, like young children play. That is true. Like, I don't disagree with Trainwrecks on one thing, is that game is not a game that children should be playing. It's definitely not a game for children. I would play the shit out of that game, though. Having, like, a truly realistic shooter experience is something interesting. Thing is, a movie, you see it once, but a game, you'll play it every day. Look, until now, take it as you wish, but until now, the studies about violence in video games have found no kind of causation between playing violent video games and being more violent. Does that mean that that'll stay true in the future? Of course not. But that does mean that our current level of knowledge about violence in video games is that there is no tangible relation there. That being said, once again, it's definitely not a game I would like let my children play until they were older. I don't know at what age, maybe like 15, 16 at the very least. That being said, I'm comparing it to Counter-Strike for like how our parents would see it. I was playing Counter-Strike at 12 and, I turned out fine. Oh, well, sure, I agree with age ratings, but yeah, I don't think the violence is too realistic anywhere. Violence in media doesn't turn you into a violent person. If anything, my bias is to reducing violence because you can use video games to vent. My violence is to not reduce violence, you mean? My bias is not to not reduce violence because you can use video games to vent frustration. Yeah, the catharsis argument. And I actually mostly agree with you, Magic Turtle, yeah. I do think that there's definitely like a lot of catharsis in the experience. Now that doesn't mean that there can't be danger. Like maybe this game actually is like too realistic. I don't know, and it desensitizes people, and all those arguments. But the evidence points otherwise for now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hyped for that game because it's actually like the movements of the guy and everything. Obviously, I've only been shooting at the shooting range. I've only been shooting like stationary in front of a target. But like all the all the movement and stuff, it's like legit gun manipulation.